Now, I want to talk about Mike Trout. Mike Trout, right now, to me at least, is regarded as the best player in all baseball. And Mike Trout, since he's entered the MLB, he's had a great career so far, no doubt about it. He's a 9-time All-Star. He's won 3 MVP awards. He's won 8 Silver Slugger awards. And to be quite honest with you, I don't even think we've seen the best version of Mike Trout quite yet. And, I've always kind of thought to myself, Mike Trout and the Los Angeles Angels are an odd fit. Mike Trout is this big-time celebrity. He's this superstar baseball player, but yet he plays for the B team in Los Angeles. Whether you people want to admit it or not, it's pretty obvious. The Los Angeles Dodgers are the team you think of when you think of Los Angeles, California teams. You don't think of the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. They're the B team in Los Angeles. And Mike Trout, to me, deserves to be in a much bigger market. Now, I will say, part of the reason why he is in a smaller market is his fault, because he just recently signed a 12-year contract worth $426 million. So he could have left the Los Angeles Angels and pursued another team, but he chose to stay in Los Angeles with the Angels, the B team. So, good for Mike Trout, knock your socks off. But here's the thing. In my opinion, the Los Angeles Angels are wasting away Mike Trout's greatness. They are wasting one of the greatest baseball players of all time. Mike Trout is already, to this day, a legend, okay? He's going to go down potentially as one of the 10 greatest baseball players of all time. He's probably not going to get there, but he has at least a puncher's chance to reach that level. Mike Trout already has won 3 MVP awards. The only player that's won more MVP awards than Mike Trout so far is Barry Bonds. He's won 7, okay? Now, there are several other guys that have 3 MVP awards like Mike Trout, but if I were to bet money, Mike Trout's going to win at least 2 to 3, maybe 4 more MVP awards before his career is over. He's that special. And we're 11 years into Mike Trout's career, and the Los Angeles Angels have had 1 playoff appearance during that time frame and 0 playoff wins. And that's without paying Mike Trout a ton of money. Once that contract kicks in, boy, oh boy, is Mike Trout going to be a big-time cap hit. Now, he's going to be worth that money because Mike Trout is awesome, but, based on the way the Los Angeles Dodgers are building their team, based on the other big market teams, the Los Angeles Angels organization, to me, is not the snuff. They are not the snuff. I don't think they're going to get enough free agents to come to that place because ultimately the Angels are the B team in LA. And I don't trust the Angels to really build around Mike Trout the proper way. And I understand that one player is not going to transcend an entire baseball team because baseball is the ultimate team sport. We talk about football being the ultimate team sport. If you have an elite quarterback in football, you can find a way to sneak in to the playoffs and win 9 to 10 games. You can't do that in baseball. I mean, we see Mike Trout be a 3-time MVP award winner throughout his 11-year career with the Angels so far, and they have won 0 playoff games. And they've only got 1 playoff appearance. And this sucks for Mike Trout because here's the thing. Not everyone follows baseball during the regular season because it's 162 games. It's way too long for certain people to follow. And quite frankly, I don't blame them to a certain degree, even though I'm a big-time baseball fan. But like I said, those casual MLB fans, they're not going to tune in during the regular season. And that's where Mike Trout is most present because, well, his team doesn't make the playoffs that much. So the casual MLB fan that only watches the World Series or only watches the MLB playoffs, they're not tuning into Mike Trout's games. They're not seeing Mike Trout's greatness unless they're watching the All-Star game. And when you think of the likes of Derek Jeter, Alex Rodriguez, Barry Bonds, and even Ken Griffey Jr., those guys that were transcendent players and some of the best players of their era, they've been in big-time spots in the playoffs. They played in big playoff games. Even Mookie Betts, who's one of the best players in all of baseball, don't get me wrong, but Mookie Betts has played in way more big games and has seen a national audience way more than Mike Trout, because the Dodgers are playing in these meaningful games and the Red Sox were playing in the World Series back when he was there in Boston as well, and people actually kind of know who Mookie Betts is. They know who Mike Trout is, but do they quite know how great Mike Trout is? I don't think they do, and unfortunately that's very sad for Mike Trout, because I think the Angels are wasting his career, and unfortunately, I don't trust the Los Angeles Angels to build a World Series team around Mike Trout anytime soon. Could they prove me wrong? Yes, but I'm willing to bet that I will be proven right in regard to this topic. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Please also note that the Juiciest Sports Podcast is not just a YouTube channel. It is available on all podcasting platforms, including Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this content with all your friends. This podcast is my favorite thing in the entire world right now. It is my passion. And I want more people to listen to this podcast. I really want this podcast to grow. Also, a fun fact about me is that I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I am looking to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. And I potentially would like to start my own network if this podcast really truly grows. Or if I fall short of that goal, I would love to work for a big-time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. I am open to all networks. So if you believe in my dreams and you see or hear my passion through the screen, be sure to tell all your friends about the Juiciest Sports Podcast. Stay motivated, you guys. Have a God bless day, and I'm out.